right, y'all. It's the one and only King Cal 516 live in the mix, and this is the Swiss Flames podcast, where the Chicago Bulls make the playoffs. Before we dive into that, please check out the website, www.swissflames.com. Hit us up on Twitter, @SwissFlames, and definitely check out the Facebook and YouTube page, @SwissFlames Podcast. So, will the Chicago Bulls make the playoffs this year? My expectation for the Bulls is that they'll be a top 6 seed in the East. Now, where they rank in the top 6 will just be how well they're able to mesh and put it all together. I believe that they had a great offseasons. I'll definitely put them as a team that had the, top 3 offseason this past offseason. I think they really improved their chances of being a playoff team. Now, there's no guarantees. My opinion now is definitely based on the team being healthy in the key positions, and that's going to be key. As long as they're healthy, I do believe they will be, because I think that Billy Donovan is a good coach for this in particular group. I think he does well when he has a mesh of young players and veteran players. I think, you know what I mean? I think he does well with those kind of teams. And if you look at it, with Zach LaVine, now he has help. You bring in a guy like DeMar DeRozan, who's a mid-range assassin who can post up, who can get you buckets. That's going to take a lot of pressure off of Zach LaVine, because now DeMar DeRozan is another guy, when the offense is stalling, hey, go get us a bucket. Now you have another solid option in DeMar DeRozan that can be that guy. Remember, at the halfway point, they added Vucevic at center, so he's definitely a great talent at center. And then you add Lonzo Ball, which I had a podcast a little while back where I said that I believe Lonzo Ball is going to have his best season to date, and I stand by that because I truly believe that. And I think Billy Donovan is a great coach to tie in with point guards, and I think Lonzo Ball is going to thrive with Billy Donovan. I look at how Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, Gilgeous-Alexander, and also Dennis Schroeder. Those are just some of the point guards I've seen under Billy Donovan, and I've seen had really great seasons with him. And so I believe Billy Donovan is going to get the best out of Lonzo, and I believe he's going to do something that previous coaches really didn't do with Lonzo Ball, and that's really give him the full reins to be the guy running the offense most of the time. And I think we're going to see. Really, this year is going to be a great indication to see what Lonzo is really made of, and I think he's going to live up to it. I love the fact how he improved his shot. I love the fact how he improved his free throws. Now you can trust him in the clutch, and you don't have to worry about taking him out, because you don't have to worry about him being a liability. But I really like Lonzo, and I think he sees the floor well. He's a great passer. He's a great floor general. He seeds in transition. In the half-court set, to me, I would like to see him just get a little bit more aggressive, and also I would like to see him attack the rim a lot more to break the defense that way, to kick the shooters. Anyhow, with some of these improvements to the roster, and also Lonzo brings defense. You know what I mean? And another signing I like is Alex Caruso for that same reason. Defense. So the wing defense of the Bulls should improve this season, especially in the conference where you have the Kyrie Irvings, the James Hardens, the Kevin Durant's, the Drew Holidays, the Chris Middletons, Jimmy Butlers. You know what I'm saying? In a conference where you're going to have a lot of great wings, you're going to need throw some bodies at these guys. So the Bulls have improved in that area, and it's going to be needed for these playoff runs. If they're going to stand any chance, they're going to need to play a high level defense. And I think the Bulls will be definitely a better defensive team, and that's one of the reasons why I really believe they'll be a playoff team. I think their offense is going to be potent, solid, but it's really going to matter how good their defense is, and I think their defense will be up to par so that they can get a high amount of wins during the course of the season. Now the Bulls didn't do an extension with Zach LaVine, and this makes me believe that just as another podcast post that I did a little while back that was titled "Zach LaVine is on the clock." I believe the Bulls management are of that mindset that they have Zach LaVine on the clock, because now he has no excuse. You have the weapons around him. Now they're going to be able to see what they can do, and now they're going to be able to see, is Zach LaVine a number one on a championship contending team? This season is going to be a great indication of that, because you have guys who can score really good but may not be a number one on a championship contending team. You know what I'm saying? And so Zach LaVine is going to have a lot to prove, because if you look at the Bulls makeup of this team, just look at a couple guys who've been kind of like the top option on their teams in the playoffs, like DeMar DeRozan and Vucevic. Both those guys kind of have shown us that they're not number ones on a championship contending team, right? Doesn't take away to say that they're not good players, but you need that guy who in the playoffs can take over a game, you know what I'm saying, when it's getting hot, when teams are coming at you and giving it all you got, and you just need a guy that can consistently get the job done, can Zach LaVine be that guy? The Bulls are banking that he will be that guy, but I think a lot of that extension that he's seeking at that max for the Bulls is going to depend on what he does this season. If they have a successful season, make the playoffs, Zach LaVine is doing his thing, he'll get that extension. But if they underachieve, if they don't make the playoffs, I do believe that's a way that the Bulls could look to improve, that maybe they get off Zach LaVine and try to bring in somebody else, because he can net, a really good solid return. Right? Now, I'm not trying to push any trade rumors, nothing like that, because I don't think that's what's going to happen. But we don't really know what Zach LaVine's made of, because he's never been in the playoffs. So, once again, I believe the Bulls will make the playoffs. But my opinion on that is that whatever seed they fall in, this is going to be a learning season. If things go really well for them, they can get out and win a series. And if things go really, really well with them, they can kind of be similar to what the Atlanta Hawks did this past season and win a couple of series. I don't perceive that they'll make the championship this year. But I think this will be a great learning season. They'll see what they have, and then they'll be able to bounce back with that experience and come back better next season. So that's my take on the Bulls. If you're a Bulls fan, I would just sit there and say be a little patient. Sometimes these things don't go off right off the bat. Remember the Heat, the Big Three, when they got together, 17 games in, 18 games, 19 games in, they were kind of hanging around that 500 mark in that area. So we know that it doesn't always go towards plans. They were able to turn that around. But sometimes when you put a bunch of new pieces together, you need a little time just for it to mesh and for everybody to get settled in with their new teammates. But this team definitely has a high ceiling and high potential. You understand what I'm saying? And I think if they maximize their potential, definitely I can see them making the conference finals if everything falls into place. But with that said, it's your boy King Cal 516. Let me know what you think about this Chicago Bulls team. Do you think they're a playoff team? If so, where do you think they will fall in the Eastern Conference? And if you don't think they're a playoff team, hey, let me know why you believe that they're not a playoff team. With that said, hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave a comment. It's your boy King Cal 516 signing off, and this has been the Switch Flame Podcast.